Hello and welcome to the B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. I go around the world talking to marketing directors, business owners to find out what is working and what is not so that you can succeed faster. Today, we are going to talk about the importance of analyzing marketing results and being ready to pivot for the best response rates. And to do this, I am going to use my favorite analogy of skiing. So whether it is an email campaign, a banner placement, or a social media strategy, I'm going to help you figure out how to analyze it so that you can tweak it to get a better response. So let's jump in. Why this matters. I have a lot of people who say, Donna, this is the way we've always done it. We're just going to keep doing it. Oh no, we're going to let this go for 5 years and see what happens. In marketing, just like skiing, no plan goes perfectly. I've been there. I've been at the top of the mountain. It's a beautiful bluebird day, and I think my rundown is going to be fabulous. But things happen, and you have to be able to adapt to these changes. So let me set the scene. Like I said, I'm there at the top of the mountain. It's a beautiful bluebird day. There is corduroy. I have my line that I'm going to use for the skiing down the mountain. I visualize this perfect run. To be honest, I visualized it the night before. But as I head down the mountain, unexpectedly, obstacles happen. A skier gets in my way. All of a sudden, there's a rock, or there's ice, or there's just not enough snow. So what do? You're not going to keep skiing in that area. No, you're going to pivot. You're going to make changes. You're going to analyze it and figure out where you can get a better run to go down the mountain. Marketing works the same way. You set a strategy expecting the results to be amazing, but sometimes they're not. Low open rates, underperforming ads that get in the way of creating that unbelievable response you are hoping to have. And like skiing, you need to analyze this in real time and make adjustments as you're going down the mountain. As you have this marketing campaign out there, you need to make changes so that you can improve the response rates. How do we do this? The first thing is there's some key steps to analyzing and then figuring out how to pivot in your marketing strategy. Just like a skier might watch for those signs at night. What are the snow conditions? Did we get snow? Is it going to be windy? Did we have ice last night? Whatever the weather is, makes you feel like you've got to change what you're thinking about doing for skiing. The same way we have KPIs, such as email open rates. If you're not seeing the open rates that you want, you may need to tweak that subject line. It's the subject line that first catches the eye of the person so that they want to open your email. Then it's your click-through rates. You look at those click-through rates. If people aren't clicking through, there's something wrong with the offer. You've got to analyze the people it's going to and the offer you're presenting in front of them. If you are going and you are speaking directly to that individual about a challenge they are having, how you can help them with this challenge or a goal they have, and you can help them achieve their goals, they are going to click through. But if there's a disconnect, your offer does not really fuel this audience, they're not going to click through. You're not going to see that conversion rate you want to see. You're not going to see your social media posts, people engaging with it. So what? You start to get KPIs. The average email open rate for B2B marketing campaigns, and this is from HubSpot, is 21.33%. If your campaign is not hitting that, that's when you need to sit back and say, okay, something's got to change. Either we're not hitting the right people or we're not creating that subject line that's of interest to them. It doesn't resonate with them. So you sit back and analyze that audience a little bit more to create that open rate or create that subject line that will help improve your open rate. You should definitely, if you're at industry specific lists and you know your target audience, they definitely should be getting at least a 21% open rate. Now, I've seen it where we've done a lot of analysis on a client of ours, and we have found their targeted audience by using industry specific lists. Sometimes we see 35, even 40% open rate because we're reaching the exact people that would be interested in what we have to offer. So you need to analyze that. You got to have those KPIs and you've got to analyze it to see, are you meeting the mark? And if not, what changes should you make? The second thing is you got to review the sources and are your banners being placed on the right publications for that target audience? Are your banners mentioning something that speak directly to the people who will see them? So you got to see, is it the right platform? Is it the right message? Is it the right offer? If you're not seeing the response rates, you're not seeing the clicks, you're not seeing the impressions, it's time to make a change. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, don't jump ship too quickly. Don't be like, oh my gosh, we got to make a change. You got to definitely let it stay out there for a period of time. But if you don't start to see that response rate, that you know this is the exact audience, then you need to change your messaging. And don't feel like you needed to run such a long course that you spend all this money and you don't see the responses. Start to make those changes so that you can improve that response rate, start to see a higher open rate, and then the click-through rates hopefully will follow if you are placing the right offer in front of the right people. So you got to evaluate whether the channels you're using are the correct channels, the correct sources, for the audience you're trying to target. Just like with skiing, if one side of the slope isn't working for you, do you continue down that really bad side? Or do you flip to the other side with hopes of redeeming this run to create a great run for yourself? I know I do. I'm not going to sit and go down that bad side if I know it is not going to be a good run. I'll go to the other side. Is there more snow over here? Are there less people over here? These are all things I analyze when I'm skiing down because you want to have the best run ever. And your marketing is the same way. The third thing is research the industry for trends and changes. Just like we said, when it comes to skiing, you'll want to look at the skiing conditions. You'll want to say, oh, you know what? There's too much wind on the south side. I'm going to stay on the north side. Oh no, I'm going to go over towards the left because I know that they were making snow all night, but they weren't making it over to the right. Same thing. Analyze those industry behavior changes. Maybe your audience isn't moving to LinkedIn. Instead, it is still staying with emails. Make sure you have an email marketing strategy that resonates with the individual, but helps nurture them by offering value, offering them content that will help them do their job better. This is where you really have to concentrate on quality, not quantity. Not sales, but building a relationship. If you think about that, like you're really trying to build a relationship with someone, it's not that you want the one-off sale. You want to build a relationship with this person. You want to help this person. And what you'll see is they then will buy from you year after year. So you need to research these industries for trends and changes so that your marketing pieces can speak directly to them. And then you'll know whether your audience is really on LinkedIn or whether they prefer an email marketing campaign, or maybe they want that banner in a certain position within a newsletter. When I have clients who come in and ask me, "Oh, Donna, I want to do an e-newsletter banner," and I'll give them suggestions, I'm like, you know what? Don't do that top leaderboard. Everyone has gotten accustomed to the banners being up in that position. So what they do is they scan over that position and they go down to the meat of the newsletter. And that's why you're starting to see people call them different things. Some people call them flashlight banners or text banners or something that's more in the middle of the newsletter that really offers value to them. It's not this, Bob, there's my banner. Here's some text. Here's some meat. Here's a white paper. Here's an ebook to give you more additional information. So these are the things you've got to analyze are the placement, just like the ski slope, right or left side. Which one's going to give me the better run? Which placement in this banner is going to give me the most validity and the most visibility? You've got to test this when you go to make some of these changes, and when you make pivots or changes, whatever you want to call it, you've got to do small ones. You don't want to do this major overhaul of everything because then you don't know what is actually working. So tweak little things. Like I said, if the open rates aren't there, tweak the subject line. Don't change the whole content. Just change the subject line and see if that improves your open rate. Then if you see your click-through rates aren't there, how can you tweak that offer? Maybe they don't want to sign up for a free demo. Maybe they want that ebook where they can do more research without asking any questions. We all know our potential buyers are doing a lot of research online. They're no longer jumping in right away to ask you questions. They want to do their own homework. They want to see what other people are saying about your company. I know I do. Whether I am reviewing skis or ski boots or banner placements or email lists, I want to hear from my own clients. I want to see with my own eyes some of our campaigns, what has worked, what hasn't worked. I don't want to hear from the vendors saying, "I've got the best list ever." They all say that. So I need to do my own homework to dig deep to figure out what is going on. So make small changes, test them before you do a major overhaul of everything. And like I said, tweak that subject line first, maybe adjust where you're placing an ad, or maybe try a different social media strategy. Maybe it's the social media platform you're on. For instance, World Innovators being on TikTok, maybe it's not the best place for us. We are much better to be on LinkedIn, where those are our people. They want to hear about B2B marketing. They don't want to see me like doing a dance. They want to hear about B2B marketing. So do these incremental adjustments that can lead to some major improvements in your response rates. According to McKinsey, businesses that consistently analyze and change their marketing strategy see a 15% increase in the return on investment. That's logical. Think about it. You can't just put it out there and let it stay. No, you've got to constantly be reviewing it, looking at it, seeing what's working, what's not working. And like I said, don't do a major overhaul. do one little thing at a time. And it really makes marketing very interesting because marketing becomes a puzzle of putting all those right pieces together. You're not going to go do a 1,000-piece puzzle overnight. It takes time to get all the pieces in the right order. And that's what you're doing with marketing. Marketing is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. So just as no two turns down that mountain are the same, no marketing campaign is the same. No marketing strategy is the same. No business that is out there is the same. You need to monitor the conditions. You've got to adapt, and you got to make some quick decisions on how you want to change things to get better results. But analyze it all. Also, keep track of what changes you're making, what you're not doing. And like I talked about in one of my previous episodes, set up an Excel spreadsheet so you'll know what changes you made and when. And then as you keep those Excel spreadsheets along with the results, you can put all that information into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can give you a nice overview on what worked, what didn't. Oh, you shouldn't have changed that subject line. Oh, your offer was good. But these are all things that you could start to put into ChatGPT that will analyze it for you. And even though you, as a great marketer, probably know what happened, it's great to hear from them, chat or any AI, what is their viewpoint? It gives you another perspective of what to look at. Think about your latest campaign. What worked? What didn't work? And make some small changes. See how much better the results can be. And if you need help with your strategy, please feel free to reach out to me. This is what I do day in and day out. A lot of these publications I have worked with for years, so I know which ones are working and which ones aren't. But remember, it's not about making that sale. It's about building relationships. In our next episode, we'll talk more about how do you develop those deep relationships so that the individual wants to buy from you all the time. Why? Because they trust your brand. And when an individual trusts you, they're going to work with you more and more. So in our next episode, we're going to dive into that on how to build those relationships and boost long-term engagement. And remember, World Innovators, we specialize in helping industrial brands find those right email lists or banner placements or sponsorships to effectively target your specific audience. And remember, your audience is different than anybody else's. It's not a cookie cutter thing. You can't take a strategy from any other company out there. Yours has to be unique. And that is why you have to do some in-depth research to really understand your specific audiences, the nuances within that industry, how to put up a campaign, and then how to analyze it and make recommendations for the future. We want you to improve your results so that your marketing is amazing. We're here to inspire success with you so that your company will grow and you will be able to see the sales, the leads that are going to help you grow year after year. In the meantime, please hit subscribe, thumbs up our podcast, tell people how much you love it so that we can continue to put good quality marketing advice out there into the marketplace. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the World Innovators B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. If you'd like to be updated when new episodes come out, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out our social media accounts to stay up to date on B2B marketing trends.